Hello, my name is Milan Unger. I work as senior key expert in Siemens Healthineers. I'm located in Bratislava, Slovak Republic. I work on product of clinical decision support, which is intended for the clinician's routine work. The product is assumed to be used few hours per day by clinicians. Some of the features use machine learning or artificial intelligence algorithms. In general, we consider artificial intelligence and machine learning-based features as a supportive tools where user must be aware of the possibility that some items they are interacting with are produced with a chance of being a false positive, false negative, or simply not exact. Examples of such features are positioning of patients on the clinical guideline, structuring of clinical notes, or prediction of disease recurrence probabilities. One of the specific challenges when developing the artificial intelligence in the clinical domain is lack of the generally available datasets. We assume longitudinal patient data as the input to our system. But such data contains a lot of the details about the patient and also about the details of clinical procedures and practices used by the particular clinic. To get such data, therefore require substantial anonymization efforts and ethical approvals, which are time-consuming. In addition, the information is different between various diseases, and information needed also differs between various applications, and some part of the information can be available from one clinic, while the other clinic simply do not use such information. To overcome this issue, we start with limited size of the anonymized dataset and look at the possibility of data simulation during the future pre-development. Later, the application is tested together with the collaborating clinicians in the hospital environment. And the feedback from such pre-development tests are then reflected in the actual model, or the dataset is extended as needed. Where appropriate, we also consider what method to use and, if possible, stick to the less data-hungry approaches. Software development is done in the regulated environment with formalized software development processes. We follow the same process for artificial intelligence and machine learning features as for the other software features of the product, but try to tailor the specific steps to the differences between heuristical and deterministical approaches. For example, when the false positive or false negative result is observed in the application, the impact and importance of this to the user is considered, and decision is made based on the fact if the issue can or should be addressed by the actual model, or if the impact is only marginal to the usage of the system, then such situations may be considered as a possible limitation only. We build a kind of standard test suite for the models to ensure that the requested behavior, which means things that need to lead to expected results, is stable and not regressing between the evolutions of the models and application. There are also other aspects that are specific to artificial intelligence-based features. For example, the resource consumption, such as memory and computational time, in the situation where the system must be installed on-premise instead of in the public data centers due to privacy concern of customers, is much higher for such features as for the rest features. Another aspect which is specific to artificial intelligence features are ways of testing usability aspects and the comprehensions of the user interface by the user. All these aspects are, of course, influencing the design of the system as the whole. Our experience also shows the different level of understanding by the stakeholders in the project of what is artificial intelligence and how it works, also impacts how are so-called smart features then incorporated into the bigger user workflows and how are they integrated with other features of the application. In summary, the features based on the artificial intelligence and machine learning brought to the product new challenges and influenced the application logic and the user interaction. The lack of big data set in the clinical domain during the development of commercial product shall be just assumed, and alternative approach to the data acquisition shall be evaluated. My general point of view is that artificial intelligence in clinical practice has promising future, but it is more in the sense of supporting the clinicians themselves rather than replacing them. The AI is not in the position to make clinical decision by itself. Instead, the whole software system must be designed in the way that it is clear to the user which information was produced by artificial intelligence, and the user must be also aware of the possibilities and limitations of the used heuristics in the models. The application must allow for adjustment of the presented information with the final approval of decisions made by appropriate professionals. Thank you and goodbye.
We are back again to the discussion session. This one is for the third paper, Data Acquisition and the Implication of Machine Learning in the Development of Clinical Decision Support Systems. So if your question for the author, Milan, please post them on the chat. And there is the first question by Per. What do you think about certification challenges for AI and ML system with respect to the safety standards in the medical domain?
Yeah, so certification challenges are pretty high, and it's always hard to define the purpose or intended use of the software, especially of the features which use artificial intelligence. So I think that are in the place because you always deal with the human health. Yeah, so you need to somehow pass these challenges. But I'm also looking at it from the perspective what is actually how you will define that the artificial intelligence is safe enough, yeah, and what's the intended use. Because on one hand, if you will approach the artificial intelligence as the replacement of the clinicians, like they will you will not let the artificial intelligence nowadays to do surgery without the clinicians, but it's rather about the supporting the clinicians, and then you have a lot of the risk because if you put some results to the clinicians which he will understand, okay, this is the exactly how it should be, but in fact there is the chance of the false positive or false negative results, then you need to also address this risk. And I think the biggest topic in the certification is actually how you address this risk, how you ensure that the users are aware, okay, this is coming from the artificial intelligence and not just the kind of the computations of the facts. And this is things which we actually deal with. Yeah. So that's one aspect.
Yes, thank you for the answer, Milan. It seems we only have 50 seconds left, maybe not enough time for another question, but there will be a discussion room, and then everyone can join the discussion room to meet with Milan and ask further questions. I think it's a very exciting to see how one can build the decision support system to support clinicians. Yes. So let's thank Milan again for a very nice presentation and answering the question. And please join the discussion room to chat more with Milan. Yes. Thank you, everyone. Yes. See you in the next discussion session, the last one for this session.